This is your time. This is your moment. You are not here by accident. You are here on purpose, for a purpose. There is a legacy inside of you, a deposit of faith, wisdom, and favor that has been placed in your life, not just for you, but for those who come after you. The blessings that have brought you this far were never meant to stop with you. You are called to pass them on, to be a bridge of faith, to be a difference maker in your family, your community, your world. We've all seen what happens when someone breaks through. A parent who turns their life around and gives their children a fresh start. A mentor who speaks hope into a young person's future. A leader who changes the course of history because they dared to believe. That same power is in you. When you speak life over your children, when you encourage a friend, when you show kindness to a stranger, you are passing on blessings. Every time you choose faith over fear, love over hate, forgiveness over bitterness, you are shaping the future in ways you can't even see. Maybe no one in your family ever showed you what faith looked like. Maybe you've had struggles, setbacks, disappointments, but let me tell you, you are the one to break the cycle. You are the one to step into a new season of favor, a new level of anointing. The past does not define you. God has a new story for your life. And here's the beautiful thing. When you pass on spiritual blessings, they don't leave you, they multiply. When you give, you receive. When you lift others up, you rise higher. When you walk in faith, generations will follow. So don't hold back. Don't let doubt keep you from believing in what's ahead. Choose today to be a vessel of blessing. Speak life, share love, walk in faith. And watch how God moves through you to change lives for generations to come. You are blessed, you are favored, you are anointed, and you are called to pass it on. There is something powerful about the legacy we leave behind. The choices we make today don't just affect us. They set the course for the generations that follow. Whether we realize it or not, we are shaping the future with our words, our actions, and our faith. What we believe, what we declare, what we pass on to others will echo far beyond our lifetime. Look at where you are today. The blessings you enjoy, the opportunities you have, the doors that have opened for you. Many of them didn't start with you. Someone before you prayed for you. Someone sacrificed, believed, and paved the way so that you could step into greater things. Maybe it was a grandparent who spoke words of faith over your life. Maybe it was a parent who never gave up on you. Maybe it was a mentor, teacher, or even a stranger whose kindness changed your perspective. But here's the truth. Just as others have poured into you, you now have the responsibility to pour into those coming after you. What you have is not just for you. The wisdom you've gained, the faith you've built, the lessons you've learned, these are treasures that can make a difference in someone else's life. Too often we think of blessings as things we receive, but real blessings are meant to flow through us. They are meant to be shared, passed down, and multiplied. Think about a tree. A tree doesn't just produce fruit for itself. It doesn't eat its own apples or enjoy its own shade. The fruit is for others. The shade is for those who come and rest beneath it. The seeds that fall from the tree don't just disappear. They grow into new trees carrying the same strength, the same potential. That's how blessings work. When you live in faith, when you encourage, when you speak life into others, you are planting seeds that will grow beyond what you can see. Some people live their whole lives without realizing this. They hold tightly to what they have, thinking that if they give too much, they'll have less. But the opposite is true. When you give encouragement, you receive encouragement. When you share wisdom, you gain more. When you choose to love, love multiplies in your life. That's how the spiritual realm works. What you sow, you will reap. It's easy to think, I don't have much to pass on. I don't come from a perfect background. I've made mistakes. I've had struggles. But let me tell you, your struggles don't disqualify you. The lessons you've learned through your challenges, the victories you've won through your battles, those are the very things that can inspire and guide someone else. Sometimes the greatest blessings you pass on aren't the ones that came easy, but the ones that came through perseverance and faith. Maybe you didn't have a role model, Maybe no one in your family showed you what faith looked like. Maybe you grew up in a home where there was doubt instead of belief, fear instead of hope. But you have the power to change that. You can be the one to start a new legacy. You can be the one to rise up and say, it may have been this way in the past, but it stops with me. From now on, I'm passing on faith. I'm passing on love. I'm passing on a spirit of victory. When you make that decision, something shifts. What was meant to hold you back loses its power. What seemed impossible before suddenly becomes possible. Because you're not just walking in your own strength, you're stepping into a greater purpose. And when you align yourself with a purpose greater than yourself, the blessings begin to overflow. There are people connected to your destiny that you haven't even met yet. There are lives that will be changed because of the faith you choose to walk in today. A simple word of encouragement can break chains of doubt in someone's mind. A small act of kindness can be the answer to someone's prayer. A testimony of what you've been through can give someone else the strength to keep going. This is why it's so important to live with intention. Every conversation, every interaction is an opportunity to make a difference. You don't have to be a preacher to speak life. You don't have to be a leader to lead by example. Just by being who you are, by standing firm in your faith, by choosing kindness, by living with integrity, you are already leaving a mark on the world around you. Think about the people who made a difference in your life. They may not have been the wealthiest, the most successful, or the most famous, but they had something far more valuable. They had faith, they had love, they had a spirit of encouragement. And because they shared what they had, you are here today, walking in blessings that you may not even fully realize. Now it's your turn. It's your turn to speak words of hope over your children. It's your turn to uplift a friend who is struggling. It's your turn to show grace to someone who feels unworthy. It's your turn to plant seeds that will grow into blessings for generations to come. You have more to offer than you think. There is greatness inside of you. There is purpose in your life. And as you pass on the blessings you have received, you will see doors open, relationships flourish, and a new legacy of faith take root, not just in your life, but in the lives of those who will come after you. So don't hold back. Don't let doubt keep you from believing in what's ahead. Choose today to be a vessel of blessing. Live in such a way that when people think of you, they remember the love, the encouragement, the faith that you poured into their lives. And as you do, watch how what you give comes back to you in ways you never imagined. Watch how what you plant today turns into a harvest of blessings tomorrow. Because when you live with the purpose of passing on what you've been given, you step into the fullness of everything you were created to be. You are blessed, you are favored, and you are called to pass it on. There's an incredible force within each of us that shapes our lives and the lives of those around us. It is something that often goes unnoticed, yet it carries immense power. This force is present in every interaction, every conversation, every moment of connection we share with others. It has the ability to lift people up, to bring hope, to inspire, and to change the direction of someone's life. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we are influencing those around us through what we express. The things we say, the way we respond to challenges, the attitude we bring into situations, all of these contribute to the atmosphere we create. Sometimes we might underestimate the effect we have, thinking that our words don't carry much weight. But the truth is, what we express has the potential to leave a lasting imprint. Think about the times in your life when someone said something that stuck with you. Maybe it was a simple compliment that boosted your confidence. Maybe it was an encouraging statement that helped you push through a difficult time. Maybe it was an unexpected affirmation that reminded you of your worth. These moments stay with us, sometimes for years, shaping the way we see ourselves and the world. Now consider the opposite. Perhaps you have experienced the impact of words that hurt, that discouraged, that planted seeds of doubt in your mind. A single negative remark, even one spoken without much thought, can linger and influence a person's belief in themselves. It's amazing how something so small can make such a big difference, for better or worse. Understanding this should make us more aware of what we express to others. If a single encouraging remark can change someone's perspective, why wouldn't we choose to be a source of positivity? If a word of hope can lift someone's spirit, why wouldn't we be intentional about offering that hope? There are people around us, family members, friends, colleagues, even strangers, who are carrying burdens we know nothing about. Sometimes all it takes is one expression of kindness, one uplifting statement to remind them that they are not alone, that there is still good in the world, that there is a future worth believing in. The way we communicate doesn't just affect others, it also affects us. When we make a habit of expressing things that uplift and encourage, we begin to see the world differently. We train our minds to focus on possibilities instead of limitations, on solutions instead of problems, on hope instead of fear. Our own outlook becomes brighter because we are constantly reinforcing messages of positivity and strength. It's easy to let frustrations, worries, and negative emotions influence what we say. In moments of stress or disappointment, we might be tempted to express things that don't reflect our best selves. But that's why it's so important to be intentional, choosing to speak words that build rather than break, that strengthen rather than weaken requires mindfulness. It requires us to pause, to think, to ask ourselves, is what I'm about to express going to help or harm? Is it going to bring light or darkness? Is it going to encourage or discourage? Think about the people you admire most, the mentors, the leaders, the individuals who have had a positive influence on your life. What stands out about them? More often than not, it's the way they communicate. It's the way they make you feel seen, valued, and capable. They don't just say things for the sake of saying them. They use what they express as a tool to bring out the best in others. Imagine what could happen if more people embraced this mindset. Imagine the kind of homes we would create if families consistently expressed things that lifted one another up. Imagine the kind of workplaces we would build if encouragement and support became the norm instead of criticism and doubt. Imagine the kind of communities we could develop if people chose to express things that unite rather than divide. The reality is, we all have this ability. It doesn't take special skills. It doesn't require a certain level of education, status, or influence. It simply takes a willingness to be intentional with what we put into the world. Every single person has the power to impact others through what they express, whether in small moments or significant ones. This doesn't mean ignoring the challenges of life or pretending that everything is always perfect. It simply means choosing to communicate in a way that brings hope even in the midst of difficulties. It means acknowledging struggles, but also pointing towards solutions. It means recognizing pain, but also reminding people of their strength. It means speaking in a way that builds resilience rather than discouragement. Think about how different the world would be if more people realized this. If more parents told their children not just what they were doing wrong, but what they were doing right. If more teachers focused not just on correcting mistakes, but on reinforcing potential. If more leaders spoke not just about obstacles, but about possibility. If more friends reminded each other not just of their failures, but of their value. This is something we can all commit to. It starts with small, simple choices. Telling someone you appreciate them. Recognizing someone's effort. Offering words of support when someone is struggling. These moments may seem minor at the time, but they add up. Over time, they create an environment where people feel encouraged, empowered, and motivated to keep going. And something incredible happens when we live this way. The things we express begin to come back to us. The encouragement we give to others returns in ways we don't expect. The kindness we share finds its way back to us. The hope we inspire in someone else eventually circles back into our own lives. It's a powerful cycle, one that has the ability to change relationships, communities, and even entire generations. It all starts with the decision to be mindful of what we express, the decision to recognize that our words are not just empty sounds, they are instruments of change, capable of bringing light where there is darkness, strength where there is weakness, and faith where there is doubt. So as we move forward, let us be intentional. Let us be the kind of people who bring out the best in others through what we express. Let us use our voices to inspire, to encourage, to uplift. Because when we do, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond what we can see. A ripple effect that leaves the world a better place than we found it. There is something profound about the way we influence others, the way we live, the decisions we make, the actions we take. These are all reflections of what is within us, and they have the power to shape those around us in ways we may not even realize. Every single day, whether we recognize it or not, we are setting an example. We are showing others how to respond to challenges, how to navigate uncertainty, how to treat people, and how to carry ourselves through life. It is easy to think that our actions are only about us, that the choices we make affect only our own lives. But that is never the case. People are always watching, always observing, always learning from the way we conduct ourselves. This is especially true for those who look up to us, our children, our family members, our friends, our colleagues. They are taking note of how we handle pressure, how we deal with disappointment, how we respond to success, and how we navigate failure. Whether we are intentional about it or not, we are setting a precedent. There are people in our lives who may never say it out loud, but they are being shaped by what they see in us. They are drawing strength from our resilience, learning patience from our ability to endure, and gaining wisdom from the way we approach challenges. When we carry ourselves with integrity, when we remain faithful in difficult times, when we choose kindness over harshness, we are demonstrating what is possible. We are showing them a better way, a higher standard, a path that leads to something greater. This influence is not limited to those we know personally. Even in our everyday interactions, we are making an impression. The way we treat the cashier at the grocery store, the way we handle a disagreement with a coworker, the way we react when things don't go as planned. These moments send a message. They communicate something about who we are and what we stand for. They reflect what is truly inside of us. Think about the people who have had the greatest impact on your life. They may not have been the loudest or the most well-known, but their actions spoke volumes. Perhaps it was a teacher who believed in you when you doubted yourself. Maybe it was a mentor who showed you patience and guidance when you were struggling. Perhaps it was a family member who lived with unwavering faith, showing you what it means to trust even in uncertain times. These individuals didn't just talk about values, they lived them. And because they lived them, their influence extended far beyond what they could see. Now consider the legacy you are creating. What message are you sending through your actions? What kind of example are you setting? If someone were to watch the way you handle adversity, would they see strength and perseverance, or would they see discouragement and doubt? If someone observed the way you treat others, would they see compassion and respect, or would they see impatience and frustration? The way we live is the loudest message we will ever send, and the impact of that message can last for generations. This is why it is so important to be intentional. It is not about being perfect. No one is. But it is about striving to live in a way that aligns with the values we want to pass on. If we want to see kindness in the world, we must be kind. If we want to see honesty, we must be truthful. If we want to see faithfulness, we must remain steady even when it is difficult. The things we hope to see in others must first be evident in us. At times, it may feel like no one notices the effort we put into doing what is right. We may wonder if it even matters, if our actions are truly making a difference. But nothing we do with the right heart ever goes unseen. The seeds we plant today may not bear fruit immediately, but they will grow. Every act of integrity, every moment of encouragement, every decision to do what is right, it all adds up. It builds a foundation, a legacy, a standard for those who come after us. There is something powerful about consistency. When people see that we remain true to our values, no matter the circumstances, it builds trust. It sends the message that our character is not dependent on convenience, but on conviction. When we stay the course despite challenges, it gives others the courage to do the same. It teaches them that doing the right thing is not about ease, it's about commitment. And here's the beauty of it. When we set a strong example, it inspires others to do the same. One person choosing to live with integrity can influence an entire family. One leader choosing to act with honesty can change the culture of a workplace. One individual choosing to show compassion can inspire an entire community. The way we live has a ripple effect extending further than we could ever imagine. Sometimes we may not see the immediate results of the example we set, but that doesn't mean it's not working. There are countless stories of people who were inspired by someone's actions years, even decades after witnessing them. A simple act of generosity can remain in someone's heart forever. A display of patience in a difficult moment can serve as a lifelong lesson for someone who is watching. This is why we cannot take our influence lightly. Even when we don't think anyone is paying attention, someone always is. Even when it seems like our efforts go unnoticed, they are making an impact. Even when it feels like what we do doesn't matter, it does. The way we carry ourselves today will shape the way others walk tomorrow. Every day is a new opportunity to set an example worth following. It is a chance to choose kindness over bitterness, patience over frustration, faith over fear. It is an opportunity to walk with integrity, to speak with encouragement, to live with purpose. We don't have to be perfect, but we can be intentional. We can recognize that our actions matter, that our influence is powerful, that our lives are leaving a mark on those around us. And as we continue on this journey, let us remember, what we do today doesn't just affect us. It reaches beyond us, into the lives of those who are watching, learning, and being shaped by what they see in us. The question is not whether we are influencing others, it is what kind of influence we are choosing to have. Let us make the choice to live in a way that brings out the best in others, that inspires those who come after us, and that creates a legacy of faith, strength, and purpose. There is something extraordinary about the way we uplift others. It is one of the most powerful ways we can make a difference, not just in the lives of those around us, but in our own lives as well. Every person we encounter is carrying something, going through something, facing a challenge that we may not be aware of. And yet, in the midst of all this, we have the ability to bring light, to bring encouragement, to bring strength. It is easy to overlook the power of a simple word, a kind gesture, or a moment of support. But the truth is, these things have the potential to shift the course of someone's life. Think about the times when you were struggling, when you felt uncertain, when you questioned whether you had the strength to keep going. Then, out of nowhere, someone spoke life into you. Maybe they reminded you of your potential. Maybe they encouraged you to push forward. Maybe they simply acknowledged your effort when you felt unseen. That moment stayed with you. It may not have solved every challenge instantly, but it gave you what you needed to take the next step. It reminded you that you were not alone, that someone believed in you, that there was still hope. And that is what we have the power to do for others. The way we uplift people doesn't have to be grand or complicated. Sometimes it is as simple as recognizing someone's effort, telling them they are doing a great job, or reminding them that they are capable. Sometimes it is about just being there, listening, showing up, offering support without expectation. Sometimes it is about sharing our own journey, letting people know that we have been where they are and that they can make it through. One of the greatest gifts we can give to others is belief in them. There are so many people who have been discouraged, who have been told they are not enough, who have started to believe that they do not have what it takes. When we choose to uplift them, we help rewrite that story. We replace doubt with confidence, fear with faith, uncertainty with determination. This is why it is so important to be intentional. We may never know how much someone needs encouragement until we offer it. The quietest person in the room, the one who always seems strong, the one who never asks for help, sometimes they are the ones who need uplifting the most. And the incredible thing about uplifting others is that it does not just impact them, it also impacts us. When we choose to encourage, we strengthen our own faith. When we choose to support, we remind ourselves of the importance of community. When we choose to be a source of light, we find that our own burdens feel lighter. There is a reason why the most fulfilled people are often those who invest in lifting others up. They understand that life is not just about what we achieve individually, but about how we contribute to the well-being of those around us. They recognize that success is not measured only by personal accomplishments, but by the impact we have on others. Think about the leaders, mentors, and individuals you admire. Chances are one of the reasons they stand out is because of the way they made others feel. They weren't just focused on their own journey. They took the time to help others along the way. They used their words to build instead of tear down. They used their presence to bring reassurance instead of fear. They used their actions to uplift instead of diminish. This is something we can all choose to do. It doesn't require a title, a certain position, or a special talent. It simply requires a heart that is willing to see the best in others and speak life into them. It requires a mindset that says, I will be a source of encouragement. I will use what I have to strengthen others. I will not let negativity be my default. I will choose to uplift. It may not always seem like a big deal. Telling someone you appreciate them may feel small. A kind message may feel insignificant. A moment of patience may seem minor. But in reality, these moments add up. They build confidence. They create trust. They remind people of their worth. And here's what's amazing. When we uplift others, it creates a cycle. Encouragement is contagious. When someone is uplifted, they are more likely to do the same for someone else. The kindness, the support, the strength we give, it multiplies. It extends beyond just one person. It moves from one life to another, creating a ripple effect that goes further than we can imagine. This is why we must never underestimate the impact we can have. We don't have to wait for a perfect moment to uplift someone. We don't have to have all the answers. We simply have to be willing to be a voice of encouragement, a source of support, a reminder that they are not alone. And sometimes the person we need to uplift the most is ourselves. We must remember that just as we encourage others, we must also extend that same grace and belief to ourselves. We cannot pour from an empty cup. We must take time to build our own strength, to remind ourselves of our own worth, to speak life into our own situations. So today, let us make a decision. Let us choose to be people who uplift, who encourage, who strengthen those around us. Let us be intentional about the way we speak, the way we act, the way we invest in others. Let us not wait for a perfect moment to take every opportunity to bring hope, to remind someone of their value, to be the voice that says you can do this. Because when we uplift others, we are not just changing their lives, we are changing the world, one word at a time, one action at a time, one moment at a time. And that is a legacy worth leaving. There is something remarkable about the way we shape the future, even when we do not realize it. Every action, every decision, every moment of faith and perseverance is not just about today. It is about what comes after us. The impact we make does not stop with us. It carries forward, influencing those who follow in our footsteps. It is easy to go through life thinking that what we do only affects our own journey. But the truth is, we are all part of something bigger. Our lives are connected to those around us. And what we choose to build today will determine what others will have tomorrow. We may not always see the full picture, but every choice we make is planting something, seeds of encouragement, seeds of wisdom, seeds of strength that will grow beyond our lifetime. This is why we must be intentional. We must recognize that our influence is not temporary. It has the power to last for generations. What we stand for today, what we prioritize, what we cultivate in our own lives, All of these things will shape the future for those who come after us. Think about the people who came before you, the ones who paved the way, who made sacrifices, who lived with integrity and courage so that you could have opportunities they never had. Perhaps it was a grandparent who worked tirelessly to give their family a better life. Maybe it was a teacher who believed in you when others didn't. Maybe it was a mentor who guided you in moments of uncertainty. These individuals didn't just live for themselves, they lived with a vision for the future. And now we have the same opportunity. We have the ability to set a standard, to leave something behind that will inspire, strengthen, and guide those who follow. The way we live today will be the foundation for someone else's tomorrow. One of the most powerful ways we shape the future is through the example we set. People may forget what we say, but they will always remember how we lived. They will remember our faith in difficult times. They will remember our resilience when things didn't go as planned. They will remember our kindness, our generosity, our willingness to help others. These are the things that endure. This is why it is so important to be mindful of what we are building. Every day we are making choices that contribute to the legacy we leave behind. If we live with love, if we walk in integrity, if we pursue our purpose with passion, then that is what will remain long after we are gone. At times it may feel like our efforts are small, like they do not matter, but history has shown that even the smallest actions can have a lasting impact. A simple act of kindness can change the direction of someone's life. A word of encouragement can give someone the confidence to keep going. A decision to do what is right, even when it is difficult, can inspire countless others to do the same. We never know how far our influence will reach. We never know who is watching, who is learning from our example, who is being shaped by the way we live. That is why we must live with intention. We must recognize that what we do today is not just for us. It is for the generations that will come after us. Think about the kind of future you want to create. What do you want to be remembered for? What values do you want to pass down? What kind of world do you want to leave behind? These questions matter because they shape the way we live in the present. If we want to leave behind a legacy of faith, we must live with faith today. If we want to leave behind a legacy of kindness, we must practice kindness today. If we want to leave behind a legacy of strength, we must walk in strength today. What we cultivate now is what will endure in the future. And here's what is incredible. When we live with this mindset, we not only impact others, we also find greater purpose in our own lives. Knowing that our actions matter beyond ourselves gives us a deeper sense of meaning. It reminds us that we are part of something greater, that our lives are not just about getting through the day, but about building something that will last. We may never fully see the impact of what we do. The seeds we plant today may take years to grow, but that should not discourage us. If anything, it should inspire us to keep going, to keep investing in what matters, to keep living with purpose, because one day someone will look back and be grateful for the choices we made. Someone will draw strength from our example. Someone will be inspired by the way we lived, and that is a future worth building. So let us make the decision today to live with intention. Let us choose to build something that will last. Let us recognize that what we do is not just for us, but for those who will come after us. Because when we live with this perspective, we are not just shaping our own lives, we are shaping the future. There is something deeply meaningful about living in a way that creates a lasting impact. Every choice we make, every action we take, every moment of kindness, faith, and perseverance, it all contributes to something greater than ourselves. We are not just here to go through the motions. We are here to make a difference, to leave something behind that will continue to inspire and uplift others long after we are gone. It is easy to think that what we do is small, that our lives do not have a significant reach. But the truth is, we have more influence than we realize. Every person we interact with, every situation we navigate, every opportunity we embrace, it all adds up. It forms a pattern, a legacy, a reflection of what truly matters to us. And when we live with purpose, when we are intentional about what we contribute, we create something that endures. One of the most powerful ways we make a lasting impact is through the lives we touch. The encouragement we offer, the wisdom we share, the kindness we extend, these things do not fade. They remain in the hearts and minds of those we encounter, shaping their perspectives, giving them strength, and guiding them in ways we may never fully see. Think about the people who have influenced your own life. Perhaps it was a teacher who saw potential in you when you doubted yourself. Maybe it was a mentor who took the time to guide you, offering wisdom that changed your direction. It could have been a family member who demonstrated patience, resilience, and unwavering faith, setting an example that continues to inspire you. These individuals may not have realized the full extent of their impact, but their influence lives on in you now. Consider the impact you are making. The way you speak to others, the way you handle challenges, the way you show up in difficult moments, these things matter. People are watching, learning, drawing strength from your example, and the choices you make today will continue to echo into the future. This is why it is so important to be intentional. It is not just about achieving personal success or reaching a specific goal. It is about creating something meaningful, something that goes beyond our own lifetime. When we choose to live with integrity, to walk in love, to remain faithful in adversity, we are building something that lasts. There may be times when it feels like our efforts are unseen or unappreciated. We may wonder if what we are doing truly matters. But nothing done with the right heart is ever wasted. Every act of kindness, every moment of encouragement, every decision to stand firm in our values, it all contributes to a greater legacy. And here's what's incredible. When we live with this mindset, we experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. We recognize that our lives are not just about what we gain, but about what we give. We find joy in uplifting others, in making a difference, in knowing that our actions have meaning beyond ourselves. A life that leaves a lasting impact is not built on occasional big moments. It is built on daily choices. It is built on the way we treat people, the way we navigate struggles, the way we remain steadfast in our faith and values. It is built on consistency, on choosing to do what is right, even when it is difficult, on making decisions that reflect the legacy we want to leave behind. This is why it is so important to live with purpose. When we are intentional about the way we live, we create something that extends far beyond our own time. We build something that will continue to inspire, to strengthen, to guide. Think about the kind of impact you want to have. What do you want to be remembered for? What values do you want to pass on? What kind of world you want to contribute to? These are not just abstract questions. They are guiding principles for how we choose to live each day. If we want to be known for kindness, we must practice kindness now. If we want to be remembered for strength, we must walk in strength today. If we want to leave behind a legacy of faith, we must live with faith now. The things we do in the present are what shape the future. And here's what's amazing. Our impact is not limited to our own lifetime. The values we uphold, the wisdom we share, the love we extend, it continues on. It is passed from one generation to the next, shaping lives in ways we may never fully understand. There is something powerful about knowing that we are part of something bigger. We are not just here for ourselves. We are here to contribute, to uplift, to build something that lasts. And when we live with this awareness, we begin to see every moment as an opportunity. Every conversation, every decision, every interaction, it all becomes a chance to make a difference. So let us choose to live with intention. Let us recognize that what we do today matters, that our influence is greater than we realize, that we have the ability to create something that will endure. Let us commit to being a source of encouragement, a model of integrity, a reflection of love and faith. Because when we live with purpose, we are not just shaping our own lives, we are shaping the future. And that is a legacy worth building. As we reflect on everything we have shared, one truth stands above all. Our lives are not meant to be lived just for ourselves. We are part of something greater. The words we speak, the actions we take, and the choices we make, they all contribute to a legacy that extends beyond our own time. Each of us has the power to pass on something meaningful, something that will continue to bless and strengthen those who come after us. We must remember that we are constantly planting seeds. When we choose to live with faith, when we uplift those around us, when we stand firm in our values, we are laying a foundation for future generations. We may not always see the immediate results, but our impact will continue to grow long after we are gone. If the encouragement we give, the wisdom we share, and the love we show will ripple through time, touching lives in ways we may never fully understand. Let us be intentional. Let us recognize that our words have power, that our actions matter, that the way we live today will shape tomorrow. Let us be people who build up rather than tear down, who give rather than withhold, who walk with purpose rather than drift through life. Let us choose to be sources of hope, strength, and inspiration to those around us. And as we pass on the blessings we have received, let us do so with joy, with generosity, and with an unwavering commitment to making a difference. Because when we live in this way, we are not just leaving behind memories, we are creating a lasting legacy of faith, love, and encouragement. A legacy that will continue to shine for generations to come. So today, let's make a decision to be intentional about what we pass on. Let's embrace the opportunity to bless others, to share what we have, and to leave the world better than we found it. Because when we live with this purpose, our impact will go far beyond what we can see, and our blessings will continue to flow long into the future.